Ooh, loud, sorry. Oh god, okay. Just turning the general volume off down. Okay. Turn the music. Yeah. Sorry, I prefer to have my audio a bit higher when I'm just listening to things on their own, but out here I kind of prefer it to be, but when I'm streaming I prefer the music to be a bit softer, so hopefully it sounds okay for you guys. But I am getting set up, so I got that done. Okay. I'm gonna post my live now notifications. Blue sky. Take care of this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully things are set up. It's been a little bit of a while, or been a little while since I've, it's been a week, basically, so I should probably move this mic closer to me, so try to keep this, giant mess together. Okay. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming out. Oh, thank you for the subscribing, Chelde. I appreciate it. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly. But yeah, I really appreciate it. I hope your day goes well. My day's been a little bit so far, outside of the subscription, but it certainly got a little bit better. But yeah, I've just been preparing for today's stream. Just been taking the morning a bit slow. Also, heavy breathing, I see. But yeah, I've been working on my model for the past few days. I did not intend to take an entire week off though, because I was streaming. But yeah, how's your day going, by the way? Sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't mean to take a whole week off for the live streaming. I had a family member come over for the weekend, so I didn't realize there was a family member coming over for the weekend. So yeah, that kind of took up all my time. But yeah, just gonna drop a little cheapy. Yeah, hopefully my streaming, I can get to improving some of my streaming stuff this pretty soon. I've actually been thinking about making YouTube videos again, so I thought about that like when I originally started streaming, but I just didn't have the energy to really get into that, so I just didn't go through it. But yeah. Also, it's okay if you don't want to like chat. I'm just trying to. But yeah, otherwise I just been it's been a little bit slow. Sorry, it's like I was kind of wondering if I should show off an update of the model, but I do have some stuff on Blue Sky. I can just like copy and post a picture from that if you want to see it, but I might actually just start working on this image right here, just because it's been a little while since I've actually gotten to paint. I tried starting a different painting like earlier last week, but nothing was really coming along, so I just unfortunately ended up not doing that. But also, here's an expression chart that I worked on last week. I finally just yesterday got it rigged, or the expressions rigged, so I just need to finish the hat. Obviously not this picture, but I finally need to finish my character's hat, and then I can do probably fix some of the rigging on other stuff, and then I was planning on shipping it off to Unity, and sorry, it's I want to ship it off to Unity so I can fix the shaders, or because I don't know how to turn off the shader without messing up all the stuff that I originally placed down, or because the expressions, they're rigged as a texture, and if I use the tuned shader that's built in with the VRM stuff, that's yeah, it kind of screws it up. And also I'm gonna turn off this filter real quick, so it does add quite a bit to this piece, but yeah, sorry. So anyways, to yap about the artwork right here, this is my character, so Obviously, it's like proper design, but yeah, it's I wanted to draw my character at by the end of the month, just because he's a ghost and it kind of fits the theme of Halloween. But yeah, so I thought I'd be doing more art this month, but yeah, I think I kind of underestimated the amount of effort that the 3D stuff would take, so I'll probably continue working on some spooky paintings when November rolls around, just kind of to sort of fulfill that need. Honestly, I do spooky paintings all year round, so kind of is how it is. I don't know if you personally like spooky stuff or not. I noticed that Toxic, you have one of Toxic's emotes going, so I figured that you probably like spooky stuff. But yeah, I'm thinking I need to hop into one of Toxic's streams pretty soon. It's been a little bit. It's just that kind of pop in to say hi, at least. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe I can do like a vampire in November, but we'll have to see. Sorry, I keep talking about my future plans. It's just kind of not too much exciting has been going on. So I guess having a relative visit was kind of a little bit interesting, I guess. We went to a few restaurants, and I ended up going to a rock shop. So, whoops, one of the danger stores. Goofy / spooky stuff, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, it's sometimes goofy stuff is nice too. I do kind of lean towards or I'm not very good about mixing both of them. Unless you count like the little chibis that I draw as sort of both of them, but I noticed that you're a first-time chatter, so I'm not really... you might have seen like my cutesy stuff, sorry. You might have followed me in the past. Oh yeah, you did, sorry. Yeah, just like, I looked at the side chat, it's like, oh, there you are. Yeah, you followed a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I do a lot of like little chibis. I like to call them jelly bean chibis because their eyes kind of look like jelly beans, but I could just open one of those pieces real quick. I was thinking of doing one with my character kind of like carving a pumpkin or something, because I do want to... Yeah, lurker main, I see. Yeah, it's okay if you want to lurk, by the way. I'm just never really sure, because I don't always have a ton of chatters here, so I do kind of... I do try to yap to people if I don't know. But yeah, thank you again for hanging out here at least. But yeah, here's just one of the little chibis, but I won't stick on to it for too long. But yeah, I'll be... Sorry to repeat myself, but yeah, I'll be doing some a little bit more spooky stuff when November rolls around, just to make up for all the art that I didn't really do this year or this October. To be honest, I didn't really do all that much last year either. I was actually quite a bit slower last year, I think, but I'm kind of a slow artist in general. It takes me a couple weeks to just finish an artwork, so it's not like that's really new or anything. But yeah, I think I only got like 2 paintings done last year on October as well. So one of them was like very, very intense. The other one wasn't actually a painting, it was a cell shaded piece, but yeah, it was for a raffle that I did last year, because on Blue Sky I had like 100 followers, so I wanted to do a raffle. To be honest, I would probably do more raffles if I wasn't like tired all the time, but yeah, I just kind of had to be a little bit careful with how much task I try to put on myself, so I guess I don't do quite as much fun stuff, but I am planning on doing something if I manage to hit 1,000, but we'll have to see. Okay. So, but yeah, I really should have done the skin before I did the hair right here, because I tend to add a lot of details, or I tend to add things like blush and eyeshadows and whatnot, but you know, I can probably just go over it. It's okay if it's a little bit messy. It's not the end of the world, I guess. Also, I should make this a little bit grayer. And also, I should have said this earlier, but thanks for the lurk, Paulette. I'm pretty sure Paulette's streaming right now, so probably wanted to see. But yeah, anyways. Sorry, it's like I completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, just kind of talking about the skin. And earlier I was talking about going to a danger store. I like to call stores that have like a lot of tempting things to buy. I like to call those danger stores, because you know, it's hard not to spend money when you go in there, even though I don't really have as much money to spend, so yeah, maybe. Kind of hard to be a little bit of a responsible adult, but yeah, I did end up buying a rock, so there's a really good Labradorite though, sorry. I don't know if any of you guys have like favorite rocks or not, but I think Labradorites are one of my favorites. That, and like I think Fluorite as well. So for those who don't know, Labradorite, it's like the base color is like kind of this, sorry, I keep like, my chair is like bigger than the desk, so I keep like smashing into it, but I actually have it right next to me. The base color is kind of this grayish brown, but when the light hits it right, it looks like there's kind of a rainbow of colors that kind of just shine across the rock, and it's really beautiful. But yeah, I got a really good one for a decent price, so. Okay, I want to say it's that much of a waste, but yeah, that's probably going to be the last rock of the year. Yeah, I didn't really buy all that many rocks this year, because I just know I don't really have as much of a disposable income, I guess, but sorry, it kind of felt like probably gonna go over this gray again, just to make it a bit more bluer. Technically it's already like a bluish gray, but because of color theory, it looks kind of yellowy to me, so. Which is kind of funny, because I feel like the hair here should be like at least a bit, would at least make it look bluer, because I assume the green hair would appear more yellow, but yeah, it's just color theory be strange sometimes, but yeah. And the reason why I have the face chart is because I want to take some of the colors from it that are shown here for the piece, because I feel like I did a lot with the eyes, or like the color on the eyes today, and I kind of like how it looks on the chart. Doesn't really pop out on the model as much though, unfortunately, so just kind of have to deal with that. Oh well. It's my first model, or my first Blender model, so not my first ever VTuber model, of course, but because technically I would say that what you see right here is my first. Yeah, because I made it in VRoid. But yeah, I wouldn't mind making more models, just I need a break after this. Like, I plan to at least, like, debut it when by Halloween, at least, hopefully. Yeah, so, also fair warning, today's stream is going to be it's going to be a little bit shorter than usual, just because, or how shorter than it's been. I'm probably going to aim for, like, 3 hours, maybe 3 or 3.5 hours, maybe. Sorry, I needed to hide the chain real quick, but yeah, because I just need to get back to work and finish the hat. Yeah, finish the hat. Maybe do some stuff with the fish textures. You know, I actually like exported the model and just kind of shoved it into VC Face because I just really needed to see what it would look like. Though it's not done, but I wanted to see what it looked like, and it's a bit of a mess, I'll be honest with you. So it's like, oh wow, I finally see my model in here, and it's like, oh god, what am I looking at? So there was like one, of course, like I didn't have any shape keys or expressions set up, so. But yeah, the main issue that I saw was like something with the hands, or something with some of the hand bones, because when I put it in there, the hands were like so stretched out, it was actually horrifying to look at. But I did put it in early, so I mean, it's not really that weird that it kind of came out off, but yeah, I'll have to figure that out before I pump it out. But yeah, hopefully I can get it done. Also, for some reason, the back fabric of the hat, or like the inside part of the hat fabric, that kind of like was not showing up on VC Face for some reason, so it's a little bit alarming, but not the end of the world, because I'll just have two-sided planes, so it'll probably be okay. I was playing with that idea anyway, so it's like, yeah, it's not the end of the world. And also, sorry if my art is kind of slow today. I'm kind of distracted by yapping. It's kind of nice being able to just like actually talk during the stream, I'll be honest. Like, I think I got an okay at that when I was when I'm painting, but because of when I'm doing like 3D stuff, it's like really hard to yap while doing my work. So yeah, it's kind of nice to just be able to take things a little bit easier. Okay, I think I should probably start working on some of these clothes real quick. So actually, I'll do so I have two bases today. So one more for the more detailed parts of the character. So basically the head and the main part of the clothing, but also the hat and the skirt thing or kilt thing. Those are going to be those are on a layer below it. So yeah, I'm just going to do this stuff real quick so I can move on, so I have a better idea. So but yeah, as you can see by the original 2D model, or the 2D model plan, I guess. I never got to finish this, and basically never started the live 2D part of this, so I kind of just, I ended up switching to 3D afterwards, but yeah. Also, I just realized I forgot to hit the start recording part for my on OBS, but that's okay because I can just download it or export it from from Twitch. So, you know, I finally caught up with the VODs, like my backlog with VODs. I had 5.5 months worth of VODs to upload, like so I've been kind of frantically worrying about that like last September, but yeah, I'm officially caught up. So even with the uploads, and I'm sorry I got distracted again. Okay. But yeah, I'm free. I'm free. So yeah, I can just worry about my own stuff, thankfully. Okay, but yeah, I was talking about the... I'm not very good about staying on topic, am I? Yeah, I was talking about this sort of gradient on the inside part of the fabric here. I was gonna just like leave that out because of I thought it'd be too hard to do, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do something like that anyways, so you know, it's not the end of the world because it's a part of the design, so yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that model has been very much a hassle. I will be taking a break from 3D stuff for a bit, just kind of focusing on 2D, focusing on either on 2D art, or I might actually do some video games because I wanted to get back into gaming too. I actually got an offer for a Monster Hunter stream last Saturday, which was really nice. You know, I have been having a hard time trying to get into collabs with people, so finally being able to get into a collab with someone else would be really nice. Unfortunately, I would have to wait for November too, so hopefully they'll still be interested by then, but because you know, I have the Halloween party this Saturday from my some other family members are hosting, so I'm a little bit excited about that because I'll be dressing up for the first time in a long time. I talked about that a little bit, but I haven't really dressed up for Halloween since November last year, so, or not last year, but I don't know why I said November. I just keep yapping about November, but I haven't dressed up since like middle school, like properly dressed up in a Halloween costume, so I guess I made some attempts later on, but they were pretty like meh, so you know, I always got like last place on the costume contest, so yeah, not exactly good costumes or anything. But yeah, I'll be able to enjoy myself. I'll be dressing up as a pirate, and I still need to grab I'm gonna need to look for my pirate hat from the storage unit because we have our family has a storage unit to keep our excess stuff, and I put a lot of stuff in there, so admittedly, but yeah, I need to grab my pirate hat that I got from the Ren Fair years back because I think it'll probably look a little bit nicer than the hat that comes with the actual costume. I got something from Spirit Halloween, but I wanted to kind of mix in some of my own stuff to make it look a little bit nicer. Not sure if it'll actually look nicer, but like the actual pieces that I already own, I know those look nicer, but I also want to like get some safety pins and kind of just pin like a budgie plushie because I have an old budgie Webkins. I don't know if you ever heard of Webkins, but it's like these plushies that were really popular in the late 2000s, maybe early 10s. But yeah, I pulled like my bird plushie or budgie plushie like last August, and yeah, I'll be pinning that to my shirt because you know pirates have their parrot companions, and you know, it's a cute plushie, so you know, perfectly shoulder size, I believe. But yeah, I'll be doing that sometime this yeah. Also been thinking about flamingos again. Yeah, I forgot about doing any, forgot about doing more flamingo art, but, you know, I've been busy, so. But yeah, maybe I can get back into that too. I think my aunt, who was the relative that visited, she seemed kind of interested in maybe getting I guess she said she was interested in getting prints or something, or buying art, but yeah, maybe I can like try selling that. Also, there will be an ad break in about 5 minutes, so I'll probably just try and stick around today, or stick around through this one, because I don't really need anything right now. But yeah, the next ad break after that, I'll be taking a short break, so probably 5 minutes. But yeah, I usually try to... Sorry, I was like talking about the hat again. I usually get dinner on Tuesdays after stream, so maybe not, well, sometimes immediately after stream, but since today's going to be on the shorter side, it won't be immediate. But yeah, sorry, just trying to settle on some plans. Yeah, just before stream, I actually realized that I forgot all about my pasta, because we went out to eat last Friday night, and you know, I got some nice pasta, but I couldn't finish it because I kind of just ate like 8 million bajillion pretzel bites, so whoops. And yeah, whoops to that, I guess. But you know, I like pretzels, and pretzel bites are very tasty, so yep, that's that happened. And there's also a salad too, but yeah, I definitely ate too many. Might overeat. So anyways, sorry, like right now I'm just trying to fill in the basic colors here. So what I do with my art, with paintings, or what I have been doing with paintings, is kind of locking in the basic colors and then adding a shading color, maybe a little bit of a lighting with the overlay layer, and then I kind of mix everything together and start blending them out. Normally streams where I do this kind of thing, they actually tend to be a bit longer, but yeah, I'm just gonna cut it short. Honestly, I assume that this painting is going to be the last painting of the month, so because I'll be working on a few other things, of course, as I said before, and I'll be doing a gaming stream on Halloween. So I thought about doing art stuff originally, but because I am like predominantly a art streamer, but I want to take it a little bit easier. I was thinking of either playing Dredge or Nightmare Cart. I might actually go for Nightmare Cart, because that game honestly interests me a little bit more. Though admittedly, I think Dredge would be more fitting for my theme. Sorry, I'm stretching right now. Ugh. Ugh, sorry. Oh my god. I really need that stretch. Been a little bit sedentary lately, so yeah, I probably needed that. Also, I just realized that I do not want this stuff right here, so I'm gonna have to erase the base right here. That's not erasing the base, sorry, because this should be the hat that's peeking. Yeah, the hat should be peeking through. Okay. Also, I'll probably be doing more stuff, or I'll probably be streaming a bit longer on Friday night, but we'll have to see. Yeah, it's a look for, I guess lately I've been trying to stream for a little bit longer, but a lot of the crap that's been going on with Twitch has been kind of demotivating. Sorry to... I keep saying it, but yeah, I just kind of... Yeah, it has felt like my excitement... or I feel like my excitement has been kind of going down a bit, so... That's actually why I was thinking about doing... why I was thinking about YouTube videos again, just to... have an alternative thing that I could be doing. But yeah. Anyways, I'm also just adding some simple shading here, just for the inner part. I thought it would make things a little bit more interesting. And try to keep it I'm trying to keep it sort of as a simple shape at the for the time being. But yeah, I know the past few months I've been kind of trying to work with, or at least starting with simpler shapes for the shape, for like the shading and all that, rather than just jumping in. Sorry, I think for anyone who's new here, you might be surprised by just how bad I am at talking, but you know, I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better actually, but yeah, I'm not the most sorry, I'm trying to remember the correct term for it, but it's like I don't think it's verbose. And I keep trying to say vertical, but I know for a fact that vertical is the wrong term for the... I'm not sure how... I want to say I'm like particularly vertically gifted either, but you know. Yeah, just good at talking, I guess. Sorry, so maybe I'll probably remember the term like 2 hours after stream, but yeah, it always seems to be how it goes. Okay, sorry, I'm like just making some space to kind of think about my next, what I wanted to do next. And I'm gonna just add this darker blue in, so towards the bottom mostly. Yeah, it feels kind of crazy how everything just looks kind of green right now. Not really sure why. I guess I have to make it bluer then. Actually, maybe I can throw in a bit more blue here, because the inner sleeves and the inner hat, that's actually that's supposed to be more of a mid-tone blue. You know, it's part of the design here. But yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a mid-tone blue, a mid-tone green, cyan, or blue-green, I guess. Sorry, I should say turquoise, but... And a mid-tone purple. You can kind of see it here. Actually, I should have just like grabbed it from this part. I didn't see that the sleeve was peeking out, unfortunately, but... Actually, I think I drew the sleeves wrong. Oops. You know, the minor details always kind of change. Kind of just making excuses for myself. But yeah, so you can see it's some of the ideas here. Kind of blue, kind of spooky, a lot of nice cool colors. I'm a sucker for cool colors. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna start mixing in some of the... Oops. Wrong layer. Okay. I'm gonna start putting down some of the purples. And, yeah, kind of move my butt a little bit. My undead booty. And I'll probably put in some stuff. I'll also fill in these gloves too, just cause seems like it's time to do that. Okay. But yeah. Anyways, kind of just fill this in. Lately I've been thinking about art supplies quite a bit, so You know, I was actually thinking about like traditional art streams as well, because I originally had plans for that, but I just never bought a mount for my webcam, so. And also I was kind of nervous about what potential troubles I could be facing with technology, because last year I tried to also get a 3-monitor setup going, but the cords just never quite worked out. So I have a really old I have a monitor from like 10 years ago, and I was trying to get that to connect to the laptop, but yeah, I just couldn't. Like the thing is the laptop is actually supposed to be able to handle three displays. Like, that's on the website. Like, it says that it should be able to take it, but yeah, I just would not accept the 3rd display, so. Like I could connect the monitor to it, of course, but yeah, it says as a separate display that couldn't work. It's more so just a second screen to look at, but or like it would be a copy of one of the other 2 displays, which is felt a little bit pointless to me personally. So yeah, it just didn't really work out. Okay. But yeah, it's just kind of my luck with technology. That's kind of why I'm nervous about the webcam, plugging in the other webcam, but because I know I'm kind of short on USB ports as well. Like, I might need I guess I should probably like look up the actual webcam. I actually did like pull it out last Friday just to kind of look at it, but I forgot what kind of cord it uses. I would assume that it needs like a HDMI, which yeah, the HDMI stuff, that's been kind of my problem. Sorry, like I'm literally just pulling it out to look at it. I probably shouldn't be doing this during the stream. Just trying to take a peek at the instructions, and I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay. But yeah, it's just kind of a relatively cheap one. It's actually, I got it with Christmas money from last year, which was pretty cool, but yeah, it's this. But yeah, I do want to make another go at it, so you know, maybe use Christmas money again if I'm able to. Okay, so I'm just gonna take let's get working on the actual coat here. I also forgot to fill this part in, so it's like a little continuation of the shirt. Okay, back to this color. Yeah, so. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some like a traditional, or maybe like some acrylic ink street art with acrylic ink, or if I'm able to, I was actually looking into paint pens, like acrylic paint pens. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of those, but I think they're kind of a recent medium actually. So Posca's, I know they're kind of the most famous version, but I don't think I'm going to go for Posca's specifically. I asked about it on Blue Sky the other day, but wasn't like didn't really get that many responses. But yeah, people kind of just mention Posca or Arteza, so, or Artix actually, sorry, not Arteza, RTX, yeah. Look, man, there's a lot of art supplies that just has art in the name. It kind of gets confusing after a while. But yeah, I guess it's like they weren't. It's not like I'm ungrateful for the responses, but it's just at the same time, it's I just kind of was hoping for a bit more, but yeah, I've been trying to investigate different like art marker products, and RTX was kind of the ones that I was actually looking at originally, but you know, I'm trying to be a little bit careful about my choices, so I was thinking of starting with a cheaper brand and then just probably moving up to a nicer one if I choose to stick with the product. I know it's tempting to kind of just jump into the pro level, yeah, like professional level supplies, but you know, it's I don't really want to just blow through a bunch of money, so. But yeah, the one thing that's kind of makes me like, I guess that the Posca does have sort of like brush tips these days, but the one thing that kind of makes me nervous about Posca markers is that I remember like a couple years back that you kind of saw them everywhere and like shorts and stuff, but when I like saw people draw with them, I noticed that the paper would get like really messed up. So like you see like little bits of paper getting peeled off by the markers, and I was always like really put off by that. So I'm sure the brush tips, they should be able, or they should be better, because the person who does kind of like work with acrylic markers, they said that it seemed okay, but yeah, I just don't know. I know Poscas are more expensive anyways, so I'll probably be going for a budget thing. I actually heard there's a brand that's kind of like RTX, but or like at least like really similar to RTX, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure yet. Because I know that, or like I read online that RTX has like has had a lot of issues with quality controls, so sorry, sorry if you guys don't want to hear me like just yap about art supplies, but I was kind of talking about it with some other people on last Friday, like I was on a friend stream last Friday, and the conversation kind of came up, and kind of remembered how much I really liked talking about that kind of stuff, because I did like study art. Sorry, I did study studio art back in community college, and I got to mess around with a lot of art supplies back then, so it's like it was kind of nice to be able to just like yap about that kind of thing again. Like I'm not super experienced in any sort of medium. Like I think it's pretty clear what my main medium is, you know, digital. So, but yeah, I was thinking that would be nice to just kind of talk about that kind of thing again. I think oil paints were one of my favorite traditional mediums back then, but I don't really have the space to kind of do oil stuff, so because I know I need like a decent amount of space for that. Partly for ventilation, partly because I just tend to work bigger with oils. Like I tend to use bigger canvases, like sometimes as big as like 3 by 4 feet, or 36 by 48 inches. Like we're talking canvases of that size. Trying to remember the size of like smaller canvases that I might have been open to working with, but maybe like I don't know, I feel like, yeah, 24 by 18 might have been like as small as I went. So, and it's still like a little bit on the bigger side for the amount of space that I have. So like I would have to work in my bedroom basically, because I live with other people, so yeah, I don't have like I can't have like a specialized room for that kind of thing, which is why I just never continued with it. And also with oil painting, I kind of prefer to be able to work on more than one, to have like multiple paintings, or be able to work on multiple paintings, and I would have to have a place for the paintings to dry, so it isn't necessarily just having the workspace, but like having a space to store the paintings, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's just kind of how it is. Yeah, back when I was in studying art, I would actually put my oil paintings, like, I was able to actually put my oil paintings against the wall, so I know in painting one, I technically didn't really have that ability, because students who were in painting one, they would have to take an easel that's kind of pointed toward the center, but if you were beyond that point, you would actually have like a lot more freedom in what you could do. So, and also you got a wall, so I think the wall is probably the big thing, because as I said before, you could just hang your art on there. Okay, sorry, it's like trying to remember what to do next. I should be working on these hems, so basically start working on this turquoise color. But yeah, I'll start getting more into detail. I guess I shouldn't necessarily get too detailed at this point, because I still need to like blend out everything. That's usually what I need to do. Yeah, and like my current painting process, I started getting into blending, so, or not blending, sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would basically kind of like lay down all the colors as a clipping mask, and then I actually merge everything together and start blending out the basic areas, and then start adding more details as time went on. Okay. I kind of like how the purple breaks through. It probably won't survive the blending process, but you know, could probably like let some patches of purple stick out. When I started streaming my art, this was kind of the painting style that I actually preferred, so like having a bit of the underpainting stick out. But yeah, I just feel like I work a lot faster with the newer process, so, and that it comes out a little bit better, so. But yeah, we'll have to see it, how it works out. Okay. Alright. Sorry, I was also thinking about like my drawing classes, because we were kind of required to mess around with a ton of different mediums. Actually, we actually had to mess with watercolors in drawing class, so, you know, normally that would be a painting thing, but yeah, and the watercolors were for the drawing class, like drawing 2, and then in 2D design, that's where we actually messed with acrylic paint. And when I first joined painting 1, that's when we actually had to start off with acrylic for like a painting, or like a couple of paintings, I think, and then we moved over to oils. But I think they kind of just switched to just sticking with oils, so people didn't really have to buy a bunch of acrylic paints, because I know that they try to be a little more conscious of people's or like the budget of students most of the time, just because of at least with art classes, because, you know, usually people who join a community college, they don't usually have as much money, so yeah, they actually provided a decent amount of art supplies. But yeah, for painting you had to get your own stuff. For drawing, usually for drawing 2 or drawing as well, you had to get your own stuff, but I know that in 2D design they usually most of the stuff, I think, was provided to you, so that was nice. I thought that was nice, at least. Still hated 2D. I still hated 2D design, though. Hey, I just felt like I was rushing most of the time. And when you start, or like when you started the art program, you just didn't really have that much freedom to do what you wanted. So you kind of just had to stick with certain projects and whatnot. But yeah, that's just kind of how it was. I actually generally liked drawing, or the drawing classes, even though we didn't really have any, or there was like almost no real choice to the two projects. I don't know. Technically, we had homework to do, and we had some choice for that, but it wasn't really good about doing my homework or like my at-home stuff. But you know, in my defense, we had to like work with a giant ass sheets of paper, so that's kind of why I didn't really do a lot of that stuff. But yeah, so. But the stuff that you actually did in the class, that wasn't too much of a problem, so. And some of the mediums that I worked with, so talking about the mediums again, I know that I was able to, you know, I got to play with some stuff like graphite. It worked with charcoal. I wasn't really a big fan of charcoal, but you know. Sorry, it's like I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't actually remember that much about drawing one, but oh yeah, there was also chalk pastels that we worked with, but didn't actually, but it was just like, you know, like black and white stuff. So drawing one was mostly black and white, or we didn't do anything with color in drawing one, but then in drawing two, we started focusing a lot more on color. So in drawing two we did the watercolors, as I mentioned before, but we also did more chalk pastels, which I actually kind of liked. And then there was colored pencils. I didn't enjoy it as much because of the giant sheets of paper. Colored pencils, those were actually one of my earliest mediums, but yeah, wasn't great for the size we were working at. Then there was watercolors, as I mentioned before. Yeah, I already mentioned that like 3 times. But I think after the colored pencils was watercolor. And then finally at the end of the semester was the oil pastels, which I did not really enjoy all that much. I know that the pastels I worked with were like really cheap ones, like they were also like really tiny, so I think oil pastels would usually be a lot bigger, but yeah, it was kind of a pain in the butt to use the tiny pastels. So but yeah. Also, I think my butt was getting kicked by the end of that semester, so can't really remember what other classes I took then, but now that I think about it. Actually, I think I had 3D design too. Yes. Yeah, I think that was the case, because the semester afterwards, I know that I had painting, and I was just like less stressed by then. But yeah, I had like 3 studio classes that semester, and that was an actual nightmare. So yeah, that semester kind of killed me a little bit. On the bright side, I also had digital design, so that was basically the digital art class, and that one was actually pretty easy, even though I had to like show up at 8 in the morning. So yeah, I'm not like a morning person, so early classes were pretty rough for me. Nowadays, I always have to get up early, but yeah, that's besides the point. But yeah, the sheer fact that it was the class that it was kind of helped a lot, so yeah. And in that class, we actually had I think it was actually mostly a illustrator, so... Because I know we had that class was kind of combined with the graphic design students, so... Yeah, I saw a lot of graphic design people there. Okay, I'm going to go back to the face, just to ease my soul a little bit. Make things well. I know I need to like strengthen the eye bags. Sorry if you heard that. Oh god. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna try and bring out the eye details a bit more. Okay, let's get this light color, so the sort of the waterline, I like to make that stick out a bit more. But yeah. You know, a while back I was kind of wondering why I draw the way that I drew, because I kind of forgot some of my inspirations, but I think at some point I kind of remembered that I think I took inspiration from ball jointed dolls, because I know that I think mostly because of I always like to include the waterline and then some like darkness under the eyes, and I realized that's kind of I think that was kind of normal for a lot of ball jointed dolls, like the face ups that people would paint for them. Because I used to be pretty into dolls, but I just couldn't really find the doll that I wanted. I think if I ever am able to get back into that stuff, I would just like suck it up and get a resin doll, because I was mostly looking for vinyl dolls, but it seemed like all the sources for like all the companies for vinyl dolls, they only did like female dolls and not male dolls, because I wanted guy dolls basically. But yeah, it was really hard to get the look that I wanted, so yeah, that's why I plan to just jump to a resin. The main reason why I didn't want to work with resin back then, because was that I just like heard a lot of heard that resin's pretty like sensitive to sun, and that it's kind of like a little more on the fragile side. So yeah, that's kind of why I went to vinyl, because I believe that vinyl's a bit more sturdy, I guess. But yeah, I think I just kind of ended up wasting a bunch of time. Yeah, I just kind of have to suck it up and invest in the thing that you actually want, rather than just kind of trying to work with stuff that you're not quite as invested into. At least that's how I feel nowadays. Also, I don't know why I chose this color. It's supposed to be like gray. It made the underside of the nose a lot darker than I intended. Oops. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I should probably be adding more colors and details to the eyes. So I'm going to add this brighter green. I'm going to actually make the pupils a lot lighter, because I've been kind of messing with a look that's maybe a little more like this. I think it kind of just pops out a little bit more. And also, sorry that the ugly stage is lasting so long. I just kind of keep getting distracted by basic stuff. But yeah, I couldn't really get much work done yesterday either, so a little bit off topic, but yeah, just because I was like feeling really, really sick during the afternoon. I still feel a little bit off today, so obviously a lot better though, so you know, kind of definitely recovered a lot, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna add some more shading here. Okay, just kind of adding a bit more detail to the eyes. I think once I get things kind of blended or like merged together, I can start really working on it properly, but Yeah, I just keep kind of jumping around a little bit. Yeah, I still need to work on this belt for a bit. And I never added the green stuff to the hat, so whoops. But yeah, I need to color in the metals and stuff, and I think most of the like the finer metal details I'll try and wait on that for. I'll wait to do that kind of stuff until I get this I get things merged together and blended out, because I know it's going to be a little bit crazy once that happens. But yeah. Anyways, let's just grab the metal color. Okay, anyways, sorry, I'm gonna be a little bit quiet and try to actually focus on the task at hand. Yeah, just kind of checking the time. Okay, we'll get this belts done. But yeah, so I guess backtracking quite a bit on the conversation, or I think one of the big reasons that kind of draw me towards the acrylic pens is sort of like painting, but a little more convenient, I guess. Because I know that like last month I was trying to get into doing stuff like into art journals and stuff, but yeah, it's I decided to get into making a 3D model, and that's yeah, the 3D model one. But yeah, I think I would like to use the acrylic pens for art journals and stuff. You know, I just see some people like use it on YouTube, and it seems kind of cool. Especially those brush tip pens. Yeah, I'm thinking that I could try and use maybe put down like a base layer of like a acrylic ink or something, and then I can just use the art pens over that, so I can have like a little bit of a colored base. I'm just kind of hoping that it turns out well though, because I did try to get into another art medium because of YouTube. I don't know if you guys heard about those like jelly gouache things, but those were like really big, or like really popular probably a few years ago, but because it seemed like a ton of people were trying to get like messing with them, like the himi gouache. And it's like, oh yeah, I should try that out. That looks interesting. God, I hated that. I hate that medium. I don't know. I don't know if like gouache or just normal gouache is any better, but yeah, jelly gouache is officially my enemy, so. And I think I tried again maybe like a couple years ago, but yeah, it's just it just feels so unpleasant to work with. Like it's like really tacky feeling. I think that's my general issue, is just the feeling of putting the paint down and the fact that it dries so fast after mixing it. So I think it dries a little bit faster than acrylic even, or at least it feels like that. Because I would like try to mix some paints together and then it would be dry, but like I want to use the thicker version of the paint, but so I didn't really want to water it down, because you know, gouache reactivates when you add water. But yeah, I just didn't really want to. I didn't really want it to have a watercolor look, you know. If I wanted the watercolor look, I would just use watercolors. So yeah, it's just I gave up. Kind of a waste, but yeah, I just maybe I can force myself to struggle again one stream, but not anytime soon. I'll be saying that. Yeah. But yeah. As I said, anyways, hope. You know, I do feel like the acrylic pens would be better. Unless, like, they don't function at all, then it won't be better, but, you know. It's worth giving it a shot. Sorry, it's like I'm being quiet. You know, I did try to put a serious attempt for acrylic ink back in the day, but that didn't quite turn. Like, I enjoyed the medium quite a bit, but I just kept getting distracted by digital work and streaming, so I never quite got back into it. I was also messing around with abstract art as well, because I thought that maybe getting better at abstract would probably help improve my representational art. But yeah, I just wasn't able to invest that much time either. I do feel like it helped a little bit though, or at least it might have. Also, just I feel like this blue is a little bit too saturated right here, so I'm actually gonna tone it down real quick. So I'm gonna, yeah, you can see kind of the blue breaking through. I feel like it kind of clashes, or doesn't really look that great right now, so I'm just gonna put kind of a grayish black color back here, and then I'm gonna set the layer mode to saturation, then I'll lower the opacity, so it's right now it's about 50%, but yeah. And if I want to like adjust this saturation later on, I can just do that. I mean, we're still in the early part of the painting, so it's not like I can't fix it easily. But yeah, I just needed to work on that for a moment. But yeah, right now I'm starting to add some more lighting and shading here, so like a very rudimentary lighting and shading, at least. And I almost forgot to add some silver here. Oops, okay. Sorry, it's yeah, I try to fill this part in, but that's on the other layer, so. Okay, and there's that. I mean, you guys probably saw it if you were here at the beginning of the stream, but I have a separate layer for the chains, so. And I have not put the fish in yet, so I'll have to add some fishies later on, but I figure I can just work on this right now. Taking a sip of my coffee, it's starting to cool down. Actually, I need a sip of water too, so. But yeah, I probably want to add some purpley spots to the hat here, so eventually. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Oh yeah, wanted to work on the hair a little bit, so. Yeah, so admittedly, I could have probably spent more time on the planning of this image, but actually I started this at the beginning of the month, like the sketch. But I was just kind of struggling, so I didn't really stick around with it. But I did kind of want to work with the specific concept in the model, so. Like, basically my character kind of just, sorry, it's a little too purpley. Basically a longer, or like a longer composition. That's just my character kind of flowing down. You know, I actually last year in October I wanted to start a piece, or I was working on a piece like of my character, but it's a little bit different. I guess I can show it off real quick just to give myself a mini break, but okay. Wonder if I remember what it's called. But yeah, it's supposed to be a spooky Halloween piece. Sorry, just looking at some of my old artwork. Honestly, some of these don't look too bad from a distance, but I don't know, I feel like if I open it up, it'll probably look I'll be like, ah, okay, there it is. Yeah, I struggled a bit with faces back then, so sketching face definitely took a longer time, but my character is actually kind of involved with sort of the Eldritch Force, kind of unwillingly, but yeah, so there's like tentacles behind him. I thought it'd be kind of cool, and like the tentacles, they would be like barely lit by the glow of my character. But yeah, I spent all my time on another art piece, so I'll just be doing this piece this year instead. But yeah, okay. Let's see. You know, I think I'll just start adding a basic shading. Yeah, I'll be a basic shading layer, and then I'll also add some basic lighting, and then I'll just merge everything together and start with the blending out process. Admittedly, these kinds of, you know, this part of the process, like these streams, they would usually be on this one would, like this point of the process, I mean to say, this would actually be a little bit longer most of the time. But yeah, I'm just gonna take it easier today. Try to let myself have it. Not stress myself out too much, hopefully, maybe. Yeah, I'll try to. I think I should be able to just get this done in a couple more streams because of the simplicity of the piece as well, but or like this piece is a little more on the simpler side. But yeah. Uh-oh. Looks like the music paused. I have a plugin that's supposed to prevent that. Gosh darn plugin. Oh, there it goes. Okay, the plugin worked. Yeah, I know that when I started streaming, I got kind of miffed that YouTube kept pausing my playlist. So, thankfully it's not. Thankfully I found something to deal with that, so. Okay. Anyways. And I'll do the same for the higher layer. Or no, this is actually the lower layer, so. You can't see my layers, but yeah. Just adding some a little more shadows. Try to lower the opacity a bit. It's definitely looking kind of messy. Honestly, some of the bigger textures, they actually kind of look nice, but yeah, it's probably. Sorry, I feel like this piece could have turned out better, but you know, I don't have the time, so. You know, next painting, I'll try to do something a bit more exciting. Okay. Sorry, it just dawned on me that I'm kind of wondering if I should do a sort of like a poll or something for the on Blue Sky about what game people might want to see me play on Halloween, I should say. Because I just started thinking about that again. Sorry if you don't want to hear about that, but yeah. Also, I just merged things together, so should be able to start this point. Oops. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah. You know, I was going to keep these separated, but I might not be able to, actually. Because I usually blend the sketch in two. That's after I... Of course, I should copy and paste it real quick. Copy. I'll just drop the new one up here. Okay. Then merge this down. Maybe copy and paste it again. I'm just gonna try something out, so. So the one that's up here, let's just gonna start erasing. Sorry, it's blanked out. It's a bit of a riskier move, admittedly. So, also I accidentally moved this downwards, dang it. Basically, try not to be a little too precise, but okay. You know, maybe not. Okay. So I erased a bunch of that. Probably erase some of the stuff that's a bit closer up. Oops, dang it. No. Just kind of clean it up a bit, leave it. Okay. But yeah, just kind of. And then for the, then I can basically do the same thing for the stuff that's for the other layer, or the other section. Okay. But yeah, okay. Then I'll merge. Okay, cool. Then I'll open the other one. I'll open the other. Okay. So, oops. Nope, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, so basically erase the... And I imagine it's not as big of a deal to be... Or trying to be clean. I don't think they'll be as big of a deal for the... this part. Because it's lower down, but... Yeah. Actually, I should probably... decided I should probably keep that area. Okay. Okay. Erasing all my hard work. No! It's okay. Okay. Alright. But yeah, just trying to remind myself not to worry about being too clean again. Oops. You know what, I'll just, I can probably just leave this area, so... Yeah, I'll probably be fine. So let's go ahead and merge that down. Okay. So yeah, this should be prepped for the blending things out. Okay. Sorry, it's stretching again. And I saved, yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna take a drink of water and just kind of recoup every 20 seconds. Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna start blending this stuff out and trying to make it look cleaner, so. And this is just sort of the method that I've been using for the past couple of months. And I'll be honest, it's been very, very helpful, so. I think I discovered it like at the beginning of, I don't know about the beginning, but at some point in August, because I used it for my flamingo study. And it's kind of just when things sort of clicked for me, I think. But yeah, it used to take like way longer for me to just get stuff done. So. To be honest, I've been kind of wondering if I should start doing a few more, sorry, cel shaded pieces, yeah. It's been a while since I've done like anything cel shaded, but this new painting method has been very, very helpful, so. At least with like the basic figures, anyways. Still find myself a bit stressed out because of the backgrounds, but yeah, I can't really do much about that. Okay. So anyways, just kind of focusing on the back area first. But yeah, I guess now that I've thought about it, I'll probably be doing I could probably just do a poll on Blue Sky. Well, I guess I'll still think about it. I do feel like I'm more interested in Nightmare Cart than the other stuff. Oh, no stream, no art. Thank you. Yep. Here's my artwork so far. So I'm just kind of blending things out today. So I'm just gonna take it easy today. So it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream as well. But yeah. Anyways, how's your art day going so far, Dream? I hope or Nightmare. I'm not sure what you prefer, but I think it was Dream. But yeah, how's your day going so far? I was just thinking about like what I want to do on Halloween, so I'm planning on doing hopefully I should be able to debut the new model on Halloween. But yeah, then and I'll probably be playing a spooky game that day. But yeah, just started. Haha, Dream is fine. I see. All right, that's good to hear. Yeah, I was just trying to remember what Dami calls you, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'm trying to decide between Dredge or Nightmare Cart. So I don't know if you heard of either of those games, but Nightmare Cart was originally like a parody game of Bloodborne, but like as a cart game, which is pretty funny. And I'm pretty like interested in playing that one, but I also have a Dredge available to me. And I know it's like technically Dredge is more fitting for my theme and all that, but I don't know, Nightmare Cart seems a little... Nightmare Cart sounds fun. I'm also a big scaredy cat, so I'm not sure how many people would actually enjoy hearing me scream. I know some people really like to watch scaredy cats play video games, but or horror games, but yeah. I don't know. You know, maybe a Dredge can't be that bad, but who knows? But yeah, I actually got Dredge a while back as a game, as like a package deal with Dave the Diver, because I wanted to stream Dave the Diver, but never quite got around to that. Yeah. Honestly, do what calls to you. If you enjoy it, that's what matters. Alright. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I know I tried to play Nightmare Cart like a year ago, actually, but I guess I didn't really stick around to it, because I'm not very good about sticking with video games. But yeah, I probably want to hurt to play it a bit. I don't think it should be that too long of a game either, so might actually be able to complete it if I start playing it. You can always start with Dredge and switch if it's too much too. That's true. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how scary Dredge is, because I'm not super knowledgeable about the game, but I know you're on a boat in a very spooky place, getting chased around by horrors of the deep. I thought it'd be very fitting for my deep sea theme. But yeah. Also, a little bit off topic, but a little bit on topic, I guess. Sort of like my inspiration for my overlays and backgrounds and stuff were kind of a little bit inspired by the Tempest area in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if you ever played that game, but yeah, that MMO game. But there's a area in Shadowbringers that's like under the sea. That's like really cool. Like the vibe of the area like really stuck with me. But yeah, I kind of took inspiration and actually used some references from the game to kind of come up with some of the decorations. Oh, that's neat. Never played it myself, but I love that you pulled inspo from it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a really cool area, even though I haven't really spent that much time in it because of the... Like, the time that we got, it was, I think it was like the final area of that expansion. And it was and story-wise, I was kind of like, yeah, there was like some stress from the main story of the game. I won't say what it was, but of course I'm not sure if you ever would play that, but yeah, it's still like a really pretty area. I guess before the ad break hits, because there's ads coming in 5 minutes, I can just maybe take a screenshot real quick. So, sorry, I'll try to Tempest, FF14, XIV, as I would type it out, screenshot. But yeah, I'll just show it to you guys real quick, and then, yeah, I'll be taking my own break just because, yeah, it's about that time. Refill my fluids and all the good stuff. But yeah, try to... Okay. And then I'll get back to work, so... Trying to find some screenshots of the general area, but yeah, so this is kind of a spoiler to anyone who might be playing the game, interested in the game, but... Okay, I don't seem to be finding the more oceany parts of it, even though the... Kind of unfortunate. Actually, I probably have screenshots for my own stuff. But I'll just show you the one that I looked up real quick. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's that just took me to Reddit. Why did it take me to Reddit? I just want the image. Sorry about this, everyone. It's probably taking a little bit longer than I anticipated. Yeah, I should have opened the image in a new tab. Okay, copy image. I'll just make a new canvas so you guys can see it. Control V. Okay. Yes, this, I don't think this is actually a screenshot. This is probably a art of the game. But yeah, it's actually as a art deco area as well, which is really cool. So, and I'll just see if I can find some screenshots. If I can find it, you know, documents maybe. My games, yeah. Downloads. Screenshots, there we go. I took a lot of screenshots back in the day, so I might have to... Sorry, I always like really love this area, so it's like, just kind of wanted to share it. Hopefully you don't see anything too spicy. Of course you guys can't see the window, but actually, yeah, you guys can't see the window. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Like, I couldn't find any screenshots of the oceany areas, but... Yeah, I feel like my screenshots are a lot better, thank you very much. Sorry. Just flexing. Maybe. Okay, maybe they're not that best screenshots. Okay. Copy this one. This is a good one. Yeah, I don't know if it feels kind of awkward to just kind of pat myself on the back over screenshots, but... Yeah, there's some of the... Here's one, so... Oh, whoa, sort of reminds me of the Shadow Isles from League of Legends. I see. Yeah, it's I never played League, but I'm sure it's a pretty cool area if it looks like it. I'll just grab a couple more just so you don't have to stick around for too much longer. Oh yes, this area. Also, you can admire my character's butt. Maybe. No, it's not really that impressive a butt. Okay, there's another area in the game. Ooh, glowy coral. Yeah. Okay, just one more, and then I'll get back to work. No, the ads will be hitting, so I'll probably be on my break, and then I'll be back, and then I'll actually work again. But yeah, one of the... Okay, not quite as impressive as the other two areas, but... Yeah, it's just a lot of glowy coral, and it's like so cool looking. But But yeah, this little area right here is like really nice. You see more of the glowy coral as well. But yeah. Anyways, the ads will be happening in like less than 30 seconds. So I'll just go ahead and go on my break, and I'll be back soon. It'll probably take like five minutes, 5 to 10 if it's especially long, but probably won't be that long. But yeah, I'll be back. Actually, you don't really need no more coffee, but yeah, I'll be BRB, sorry. Yeah, I have a lot more coffee than I thought I would. I'll just grab more next break, so. I do need more water though, so. Okay. Alright, see everyone. I haven't turned the mic off, so. I need water. All right, I'm back. So, didn't take as long as I thought. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll just lurk. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll just get back to the art stuff. So about 20 seconds left on the ad break. Actually, I think I'll just put my bathrobe back on. I just suddenly felt a little bit cold, so sorry, which was insane because I stood up. I am a horrible VTuber. I am not a good streamer, I'm sorry. But okay, ad break is done. Welcome back everyone who's stuck behind the ad wall. I appreciate you sticking through. Sorry, just showing off the screen, just letting you admire the screenshots, but okay. Sorry, I'll just get back to work, so. Nice to have a little bit bit of a moment, and I also see the lurk to dream, or see the lurk, or dreams lurk, sorry, oh my god. But yeah, have a fun lurk. Thanks for coming here. But yeah, I'll go back to blending. Okay. But yeah, I feel kind of nostalgic for Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm kind of nervous about going down the rabbit hole again, because I'm someone who can get like kind of addicted to yeah, I get pretty addicted to MMOs normally, so. But yeah, it'd be kind of nice to at least like play with my character again. So I never actually got caught up with the MSQ, so I don't know, I just got kind of overwhelmed because I was trying to level up like each role. So basically, for those who don't know, each role would, I think there's like 4 different roles, or the game yeah, there's considered to be 4 different roles by the game. So there's a healer, tank, ranged DPS, and then yeah, I think it's ranged DPS, but there's also a melee DPS, so like close combat, I think. And I didn't necessarily mind most of the roles, but I do not like healing at all. Oh my god, like it's so stressful, man. And I know I'm not like very good at it, but I don't really like the idea of getting screamed at by angry players, so it was kind of leveling that up was kind of a slower process. But yeah, I kind of plan to just like drop it once when I finally beat Endwalker, because probably not. I guess I felt like I wasn't really as concerned about like leveling that stuff up after that portion of the MSQ, but yeah, I just kind of gave up. Yeah, I think I had to like get involved in other stuff anyways, like art again. Yeah, because as I said, when I go into something like that, I kind of, I kind of go head first into it. Like, I basically will be spending all my time just like trying to grind my stuff. And I know it's not really healthy, so yeah. Also, I think probably a bigger reason, let's be honest, I think kind of a bigger reason is one of the things that kept me coming back to the game for a while was I was like I was part of a roleplay venue, so sometimes like people will open like venues that role players can visit, and it was actually like a club venue that I pretended to work at, so you could like work there for a few hours and then you get paid in gil, so the game currency. Yeah, I got a job in a video game. It's kinda, and honestly, it was a lot more rewarding than the actual job, so part of the reason why I stuck with it. Yeah, it's actually like way more like pretend to have a job that make you hate your life, but yeah, but yeah, the venue had to shut down because the person who was running it kind of got overwhelmed by like some serious life stuff, but then it just never really reopened, so yeah, I just kind of gave up on it eventually. And I just kind of had a hard time going into like deeper roleplay or deeper RP, so which is kind of something I wanted, but I just couldn't really had a really hard time just like socializing with people or keeping up with people, especially back then. I was never the best at that skill either, admittedly, but I try to be better about that today, but yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sucked. But yeah, it's just kind of how it is sometimes. Sorry, I'm trying to finish up this coffee. I guess I'm a little surprised that I didn't finish it, but I guess it's not that crazy, all things considered. You know, considering how many times I just like let my poor coffee go cold. But yeah, I actually have a little thermal cup today, so the coffee is able to hold on for longer, or like to stay warm for longer, I mean to say. Yeah, I bought a bunch of little coffee cups, like the disposable ones, because originally they were meant for the garden. So, because back in June, they just wouldn't stop. Like the frost just kept coming and coming, and it just kind of. But I really wanted to get my plants in there, so like plants that would normally be kind of frost intolerant, basically cucumbers. Yeah, I put thermal cups on top of my cucumber plants one night. And that's kind of how I protected them from the frost. But yeah, so I actually still have those 4 cups in the garage, but you know, I'm keeping those 4, but you know, the other cups, they were just kind of sitting there unused, so I decided to just kind of go through them. So yeah, I think once I run out, I'm just gonna use an actual thermos, because probably like waste a lot less coffee. Of course, it's not like I don't drink the coffee anyways, but I guess waste my sanity. I don't know. Okay. How about I start just softening some of these bigger areas real quick, just to get it done with. Hopefully make it look a little bit nicer. And I think I forgot to do general shading. Oops. That's probably not the end of the world, or that hard of a fix. But yeah, I'm softening this area right here. Yep. Yeah. I guess thinking about it, I haven't really been that sociable. Oh my god, sociable. Haven't been socializing that much with other people lately, or haven't really been going out to talk to people lately. So maybe, hopefully, I can get better about that sometime soon. But yeah, I just been kind of wanting to spend time on my own, keep to myself lately. Of course, I did like join a streamer guild in Blue Protocol, but I haven't really touched Blue Protocol in a few days, or at least actually a week, I think. Yeah, it's just I know I should like get back into that, because the main reason why I joined is so I can like socialize with others, like hang out with some other VTubers. But I don't think it's necessarily that exclusive to VTubers. I'm not sure. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to hang out with some other people, but everyone's like schedule is so like messed up, so can't really do that much with other people, because they're all up when I'm like in the dead of night. And I haven't really been super invested in the game, I'll be honest. I don't want to be like too harsh on it because of it did just come out, but I don't know. I feel like compared to some of the other MMOs I played, I just haven't really been that thrilled. Like, I'm not necessarily just like comparing it to 14 or anything either. I'm just like, I remember back in the day I used to play a few other free MMOs, so like There was this game called Grand Fantasia, which I kind of randomly found over on Facebook, or being advertised on Facebook when I was like a teenager, and oh god, I'm sorry. Forgot that I wasn't on a clipping mask anymore. But yeah, back when I was like 13, I wanted to play a game that looked like anime because I was like just got into anime stuff when I was that age, and I could just saw it being advertised on Facebook, and I thought it looked cool, so I just kind of, and then I developed developed another addiction. So it's a repeated pattern, I swear to God, but a repeated pattern, I say. Okay. But yeah, I remember having a lot of fun on that game when I was like younger, even though it was like actually like generally really terrible at it. But yeah, I just remember really liking a lot of the zones in that game. Then also kind of like comparing it to Aura Kingdom, even though I haven't gotten as deep into that game, so I guess the gameplay is probably better than those games, but I haven't really gotten that deep in Blue Protocol, I realized, with the gameplay. But yeah, I think just the adventuring and the landscapes, I haven't really been as into that so far. Like, Blue Protocol has some nicer areas, and I think they're... Sorry, just, what happened? Okay. No. Oh my god. Sorry, it's, you guys can't see it, but... one of my tools, they disappeared, so... I need to drag this back. Hold on. Gotta, like, fix this somehow. Yeah, like my toolbar is like one of the the tool that lets me choose my brushes, that disappeared suddenly, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to fix that pretty soon. Hold on. Yeah, especially since I'm on Concept Paint, not the Wet Blade Blender. Uh-oh. How do I do this? It's not like it hasn't happened. Stuff like this hasn't happened before. I don't know how that happened, though. I'm just gonna save this real quick and, okay. Window, toolbar, subtool. Huh? Yeah, there. Come on. Okay, this isn't how I want it to work, though. Oh, please. I want it... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's probably not fun for you guys to look at this, but... Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Alright. Sorry about that. But yeah, I just fixed my toolbar, so... Hopefully that wasn't, like, too long. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes technical difficulties just happen. Yep, okay. And that didn't even track me. Man, I need to, like, figure out Spout 2. I heard from someone that Spout 2 has been having issues, but, like, I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, I was thinking that I need better tracking, I guess. And I heard Spout 2 can kind of help with that. But yeah. Yeah, I remember trying to go back or trying to get into Warudo, which is a tracking program back in the day, but I just did not understand what was happening at all. So there's a lot of things I need to work on that I just never worked on. Probably been like saying this stuff like for like literal months. Probably been saying this stuff since I started streaming, let's be real. Yep, okay. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't know how technology works. But yeah. Okay. Sometimes, though, it's just how it be. It's just how it be sometimes. Anyways, I'm working on this hair. Sorry, I'm like quiet again. Just kind of working on the coat. Just gonna blend this out a bit more. Probably finish this like a hair piece. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully next Friday I'll get more of this piece done, but yeah, I just have to deal with other stuff. Like cough model cough. It's like I want to be free from Blender. I want to be free from Blender, dang it. Oh, I'll never be free from Blender though. I'll never be free. I guess on a more positive note though, it's kind of nice to be able to understand like the basic functions of the program, so there's that. Like basically I know that if I try to make another model, it's going to be a bit easier for me, so. Yeah, try to be a positive for once in my life. And if I want to get into doing a background, I probably might be nice to do that in Blender too. I did build a isometric room once in Blender. Of course, I was following a tutorial pretty closely, but yeah, I don't know. Could probably do something like that again. Just gotta remember the functions for it, because I don't remember those exactly, but I know it wasn't too bad, so I just gotta plan out my character's room, or like my character space. I'd probably look at my Tempest screenshots again to take inspiration. Of course, I don't want to like copy it exactly. Let's try not to get sued or anything. But maybe a little indoor area and then an outdoor area, because my character is actually supposed to live in a ship, or live quote unquote in a ship graveyard, so trying to think of like some locations involving that would be pretty interesting. Okay. Sorry, I just probably looked crazy right there. I was trying to like finish my coffee, so like my head was like way up, and like I was just like had my cup kind of like dripping delicious coffee into my mouth. But yeah. And I think I already talked about the rocks, or the rock that I got. I got a really nice piece of labradorite, for those who don't know. And I like how it looks quite a bit, so. I realize that if I'm able to get into webcam streaming or hand cam streaming, I can actually like show you guys my rocks, so. A little bit of a stream idea. my rocks and a few of my seashells. Got a really nice ametite too, so I don't remember if that's actually the name, but like those shell fossils that you see around. Like those spiral shells. I think they're called ametites, but yeah, I could definitely be wrong about that, so. But yeah, I got a pretty nice specimen, so. You know, I got some sulfur as well. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many like rock fans are here. I wouldn't say I'm like any... Yeah, it'd just be nice to kind of yap about that a little bit. I'm definitely not an expert in any sort of subject, but... You know, I was kind of interested for a bit. Actually, I have a book on gems too, so... Maybe like look at some books on stream. I don't know if that's legal though. Like I know there's like videos of people looking through art books, but some of that stuff, there's kind of a little bit of a risk, I guess. I guess I should probably like look that up online to see if it's something I could get in trouble for. Like I don't plan to read the entire book or anything, but yeah. What's this? Sorry. That's probably just a color kind of going over it. Oops. I'll have to deal with that later. Okay. You know, things are starting to look smoother. That's kind of nice. Starting like I need to drink my coffee or my water now. Just realized I'm kind of thirsty. Okay. So, just gonna blend out this side, this other piece right here. And hopefully this composition looks kind of interesting. I know it's not like a complicated piece or anything, but got kind of this flow going on. I could also add more details later on, like I did with the Dugahan piece, but... Yay. Also, music. Come on. Music. Come on. Play. Yeah, there you go. Ah. Darn music. Also, I wonder if Twitch fixed the lurker thing. I'm wondering. Sorry, it's like I've been kind of avoiding the view count, but it seems like it's actually like showing people here, so I just like knock on wood. I don't know if this is real wood actually. Quick knock on paper. Paper is wood. Plot twist to its parchment. But yeah, also thank you anyone who's been lurking here, so. Yeah. You know, I've been trying to not like rant about it too much because I know that people don't really want to hear about. I figure that viewers don't really want to hear about that, but yeah, I've just been kind of spending a lot of time just trying to like stay around for streams and stuff, or like trying to have a good like stream schedule and whatnot, and just kind of being screwed over by Twitch. But yep, and I see your little salute. Sorry. Cheer, GB, woohoo! But yeah, it's just yeah, Twitch hasn't really been showing like people who are actually here just because they weren't lurking, which is like really kind of screwed up, but yeah, I know I'm not like the most cheery person ever, but yeah, I didn't want to like let it out on you guys or anything, or like didn't want to be a jerk, I guess. Yeah, I just get a little bit of a moody person, I'll be honest, but yeah, thanks to anyone who's been hanging around though, so yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, it looks like I can see some people here, so maybe they fixed it, who knows. Sorry, I'm not explaining myself very well, but yeah. Sorry, like, yeah, I go quiet too. Yeah, I was just thinking about it, but yeah, I guess the reason why I was feeling kind of glum about it is just kind of like you. I just invested a lot of time into streaming, so. I don't know, just but yeah, like I say, I'm like a gloomy person, or I know that I'm a gloomy person, like kind of show the character design that's supposed to represent me. It's like, yeah, a literal ghost. Like a sad boy ghost, but yeah, sorry, my brain's already fried and it's only been like 2 hours, so yeah, it's Blender's fault. Dang it, it's Blender. Okay, sorry, I'm like trying to observe on what I could do. Okay. Sorry, I'm like kind of focusing on the piece too, because trying to get this kind of clean. You know, I'll probably have to like merge these two at some point, because right now they're like separate layers. As I said before, these are like separate layers right now, but yeah, I think I just gotta merge them at some point later on. I thought it'd make my life easier if I wanted to just do stuff just do stuff on the main figure, but yeah, some of the parts that are like in front of Varia, it's sorry, I probably should be talking in first person, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Like, I completely blanked out, sorry. But yeah, I might have to merge these down, because I kind of thought it would make my life easier if I could, like, get some, a glow or some room lighting on just on the coat without having to worry about being too clean, but sometimes it's easier to just like just try to be a little more careful with the basic line rather than just trying to deal with some of these edges here, yeah, aka right here. But you know, I'll do that later though, so just not right now. Also, I forgot that I didn't even work on the skin yet. Crazy. Skin's all... Yeah, so for context, skin is like one of the things I usually jump to first. Like the face, actually. Specifically the face. But yeah, not today, I guess. Oops. Yeah. Blender, it's Blender's fault. It's Blunder's fault. Ah, dang it. Okay. And the music's paused again. Actually, hold on. I'm just gonna do something real quick. Yeah, so I just looped I made the playlist kind of looped, so when it... Actually, I don't know if I'll be streaming quite that long, but... Yeah, and just in case we need to loop the music, or just to keep the playlist from stopping, I guess. You know, party on with all this jams and all that. Hey. Yep. Yes, sirree. Okay. Sorry, like I went completely quiet again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys made like Persona characters, or obviously I mean like obviously I mean like not the game, but sorry, like every time I say like Persona, I think of the game series. It's like, oh no, people will misinterpret me, but yeah, I think most people know what I mean. But yeah, making yourself like a Sona, you know, that can be like really hard. It actually took me like it literally took me years to come up with mine, so. So I kind of just remember that. Yeah, sorry, I like to talk about like I keep talking about how I developed my character, but yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes like stuff like this is just an interesting topic to hear about how people came up with their character / themselves, you know. Especially when you put like a lot of thought into it. You know, I always personally kind of connected to the idea of having a ghost character, I think. Or at least for the most part, because I did also really seriously mess with the idea of having a merman, though, of course. Because I used to be really into merfolk. I still enjoy merfolk, but just not as intensely as I used to. Yeah, that's actually why my character's a deep sea ghost. Because I just couldn't decide between merman or ghost. And, sorry, stretching. You know, sometimes I feel like it's a good thing that I don't have hand tracking. But people like realize just how. Of course, I don't think anyone cares that I just itched my arm, but yeah. Yeah, sometimes I worry about doing something like kind of gross on stream, so I gross everyone out with my hands. You guys can't see anything because I am blocked. Sorry, like I swear I'm not like in a funk or anything, or the reason why I'm quiet is because I'm in a funk. It's just you know, I kind of think I kind of just yapped a bunch about like art supplies, and now I'm like, okay, there's my social battery today. I don't know. Probably should have eaten some more. I don't think I had a breakfast actually. I think I had like some potato chips, but I'm not like hungry or anything. Actually, I realized I haven't really been that hungry these past couple of days. But yeah, I know that I need to eat, so probably not the reason why why my brain's fried, and probably just my brain's fried probably just because I'm a little bit dumb. I'm a little bit dumb, yeah. Uh, Sorry, don't know if you heard that. Okay, sorry, I'm like trying to keep zooming in and out. I am just trying to see if the face is ready for more work. The face and hair, I should say. Actually, I think, hold on. I'm gonna use the liquify tool before it's too late. Just try to center the lips a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, it does look a little bit better. I guess there's probably still areas that could be blended out, but I do kind of want to work a little bit more on the hair and face, so I think I got most things blended out. You know, it doesn't necessarily hurt to keep a little bit of texture in there. Yeah, it's actually why I didn't really blend out this specific area, because I actually think this area looks really cool. But admittedly, this is probably the area that needs to be blended out, though, this arm. Yeah, just avoiding the hand again, you know how I am. Yep. Don't look at the hand, folks, don't look at the hand. I don't, shit, it's right next to the face, you can't... Of course, it's blob, so... I wish I was funny. Anyways. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to think of my next move, so... I might darken things just a bit more, but... I could also focus on lightening things up a bit. Because the way I draw Varia's hair is actually a bit different than how I would normally do character hair. Like, you guys know what my character looks like, even with the V-Roid version. You know, I put like a lot of emphasis on the highlights and the colors on the edge to kind of give it a glowing effect. It's actually like one of the major points of my character design is are the lights of the hair. Alrighty, I gotta head out. Have a great rest of stream. Alright, I hope the rest of your day goes well as well. Thanks for coming here and showing some support. I'll just be working on this for another hour, so I'm not sure about an entire hour, but roughly that time. Yeah, I think I'm just going to end stream at the 3-hour mark, just a fair warning to people. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be today's a short day. Sorry, like I keep looking outside and like the weather's kind of looking funky out there. I hope it doesn't storm when I try to go out. A little off topic from what I was talking about, but yeah. Oops. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just kind of adding a little bit of some darker light areas, so a little bit of a lining, maybe a bit of an ambient occlusion too. I usually combine my lining with ambient occlusion because it's kind of, it looks a little bit cleaner, I guess. I never really enjoyed doing ambient occlusion, to be honest with you guys. So for those who don't know, ambient occlusion is like the darkest areas of a render or like a painting. So like usually in art it would be depicted as almost black, but I'm not going to go that dark. So I don't actually work with sorry if you heard that, oh god. I don't normally work with like a very dark or like absolute black, I should say. So I kind of avoid that because it's just a technique I do. But yeah, if there's an area that's a absolute black, it would be the ambient occlusion. So For those interested in learning more rendering, that's you know, it's a little bit of a tip. Okay. I'm gonna blend this very dark area out real quick. Okay. But yeah. But yeah, avoiding black is just something I learned, and I know that I know that other artists can like handle black pretty well, but yeah, I don't really mind sticking with that rule personally. Kind of like it when there's like when things are a little more on the colorful side, I guess. Well, that's sort of just me, I guess. Oops. Gonna lighten some of the edges. Probably. Okay. Of course, it'll probably be buried pretty soon, so probably shouldn't spend too much time on that. But... okay. All right. Actually, I'm gonna take this darker color right here. I'm gonna make it almost completely black, so it's still. Hold on. Did it go too dark? Okay, yeah, it's like almost. You guys can't see it. It's almost completely black though, and I'll have it be under the hair here. Partly to clean up, as a way to clean up before I get too detailed with the hair, because I don't want to worry about messing with the details too much. But yeah, kind of helps it stick out a little bit. Okay. All right. And just wondering what to do here. Yeah, I know I feel like the anatomy here isn't really the best, admittedly. But yeah, hopefully it looks okay. Yeah, I think I've been drawing my character a little, or like depicting my character as a little bit skinnier than I have in the past, but I mean, it makes sense that he would be like skinny though, because he's like or like a little more skinny rather than like absolutely jacked or anything, because you know, he's an artist, not a bodybuilder, not a warrior or anything. Just like a normal dude. Well, he's a ghost, so maybe not a normal dude anymore. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I think about like how people would try to power. I don't know if it's the right term, but like power scaling their character. Like, yeah, it's I'm not like super involved with the power scaling because I'm normally not that interested in it, but sometimes I hear about like how people would like lore wise, like people talk about how like, well, people would like try to rate how strong their character is versus others. It's like, yeah, part of me is like I feel like if I got into that, I'd probably be like really argumentative, even though my character isn't like a god or anything. Like, no, my character's actually strong. He's like, he's not a strong character. Not mentally, not emotionally. Absolutely not emotionally. I mean, it's a poltergeist, so he's stronger than the average human, but yeah, I feel like I'd get kind of toxic. I would be one of those toxic people if I try to get involved, so no, I try to stay out of that conversation. You know, I try not to be toxic or anything, or jerk. But, you know, sometimes these competitive stuff, it kind of brings out another side of me. So it's like, gotta be kind of careful. Yeah, I don't really want to be that guy that kind of like comes out and is like, actually, my character can get your character's butt. Perfect. Like grade school stuff. And my character can kick your character's butt any day. I'll have you know. Okay. Oh god, that was awful. Yeah, I need spout too, oh my god. Like every time I move my head too fast, it doesn't really... Well, it captured that, but like... Okay, it's not always the worst thing, but... Sorry, it's like I got distracted. Yeah, okay, like... You know, I was talking about, like, not feeling hungry earlier. Yeah, I'm feeling hungry now. I don't really want to run off to eat, though, because Because it's, like, less than an hour left for the stream, so... Yeah, I'll try to hold out. I'll try to hold out for you guys. Maybe. I don't know. I know my protein bars aren't far away or anything, but... Oh, I guess... Okay, I know this isn't really important, but the other day I managed to get some, protein bars on sale, so... On a clearance, actually, so that's kind of nice. The box is very beat up, but... Yeah, I was kind of excited to see those, because, you know, it's something I normally get. So it's kind of nice to get something for a little bit cheaper. Now, protein bars are kind of expensive. Yeah, it kind of drives me crazy about the price. But at the same time, it's like one of those things that can like hold me over for long streams, which is why, yeah, that's why I like get them, even though they're despite the price. But yeah. Because I'm sure some of you know that I've been trying to... Yeah, I think I talked about it a little bit earlier, but that... I've been sort of trying to stream for longer times. But just didn't really have that. Admittedly, I get kind of fried at the end of stream, but... You know, at the same time, that's like one of those things you kind of just need to practice. Or just like build up the stamina. Of course, I think I feel like I get a little more boring by the end of stream because I run out of things to... Oh god, I run out of things to say. Yeah, hopefully when I get those YouTube videos, at least like those are more interesting. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the general channel should be about, but I know I want it to be art related for, you know, obvious reasons. I don't know, just like thinking of maybe talking about subjects that might be interesting, that I find interesting. Like maybe a little bit of art history. Or just discussions about art movements or concepts. Yeah, I don't know what I would be doing, I'm sorry. Hopefully it might be entertaining for people, though. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about doing things like tutorials or whatnot, or like getting too involved with art education, just because I feel like most other people try that kind of thing. Like, I know that's usually recommended for art stuff, but yeah, I just don't know if I would actually add that much value to the art tutorial space. Okay. Might be nice to just like do basic discussions about some things, though. Yeah. Maybe learning how to write things like scripts that could actually help me organize my thoughts better too. Because, yeah, I'm definitely going to have a script if I make a video. Yeah, definitely need a script. If you think the streams are bad, just wait. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just like... Sorry, I'm just like thinking, like, I need to look up a tutorial on how to be funny. What if I just made a video as like, how to be funny? It's like, I don't know. But just me saying I don't know. Sorry. Okay. Probably being a little more outgoing, that'd probably help a little bit. Yeah, my stomach. My stomach. Also, there's an ad break coming in 4 minutes. I'll run off and for a little bit, so I just want to use the restroom. So, the little ghost room. Okay. Oh, I guess a little bit off topic, but yesterday I grabbed some flowers from the remains of my garden, which it's a little bit of a flop, but yeah, it's a bit of a flop, but yeah, I did manage to grab some a little bouquet. And it was a very cute bouquet. I took a picture yesterday, but I'll have to like post it sometime later if I remember. But yeah, it's the Elysiums went crazy. Those were a success, even though I completely ignored them. But yeah, the Elysiums and the borage. The borage I think has been dying down, but yeah, during like the midsummer for a very long time, that borage has been going insane. So, but yeah, right now the Elysiums are like taking over everything. So. Especially like big swaths of space. So. Yeah, it's the most disappointing I think was the zinnias. So. Like a few of them managed to flower, so that's good, but yeah, those were kind of a flop. I'm actually holding kind of a dried up zinnia head right now. I've been thinking that I need to at least like save the other ones. And probably like collect seeds that way, because man, seeds the price of seeds can definitely build up over time. Seeds and plant starters and all that. Actually, I wonder if I should stop by the garden center. I think they're still open. They should still be open by now. Well, I mean, not today, of course, but maybe like tomorrow or Thursday I can like stop by there and just buy seeds. Because I feel like they would have seeds on sale today, so... Or, like, seeds on sale right now. I don't know. Maybe I can just, like, look them up online to see if it's, that's the case. Yeah, just make another attempt next year, so... Yeah, maybe I can try growing some, leafy greens from seed. The problem is I just don't really have a ton of space for plant starters. That's my main concern, but you know, if we're growing something like brassicas, it probably shouldn't be too big of a deal. But yeah. Or like, I mean, if I keep them outside or something. But yeah, I realized I probably should start getting prepped for, should start prepping for winter. I think I'm supposed to, you know, stick my peach pits in the ground or something in a pot if I want them to start growing next year. Because I saved some peaches from peach pits from some peaches, and also the ad break is literally going to start. It's going to hit like in like 10 seconds. So, you know, I'm just going to save and probably just run off now. So, all right, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right. Okay. All right. Our return. Actually, hold on. Oh, let me grab something real quick.
Yes, you're very cute, Candy. You're very, very cute.
Sorry. Yeah, I got my cat. A cute little baby. She ain't gonna be happy pretty soon, because if I'm going to the storage unit, I will be. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the storage unit later today, and I will finally gonna take that suitcase out. She lies down on a suitcase. I'll talk about. Should probably talk about it a bit more once the ads are done. Okay. So sorry, I just grabbed a little snack, so hopefully it can hold me over for like a half an hour. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Sorry about the ad break. That's just unfortunately, I have to have that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna chew this real quick. Yeah, sorry. Oh God, I didn't get any water. Okay, it's half an hour left. Oh, she moved. Okay, I was kind of talking to myself a little bit earlier, or just now, during the break. I just remembered that I have to, I'm going to need to. I mean, I don't necessarily have to, but, you know, it's been sitting there for, 2 months. But yeah, I need to, take my suitcase back to the storage unit. So we can, make more space back here. Yeah, as I said, I should have done that, ages ago, but, yeah. But yeah, my cat has been using that as a cat bed for since it was down there, so you know, whoops, I don't think she's gonna be super thrilled about that. Yeah, maybe when Christmas comes up I'll get her a little cat bed. I don't know, or I can ask someone else to get a cat bed for Christmas. Like, please, please, I need a cat bed. Of course, maybe she'll be going on my own bed more, so I don't necessarily mind her sitting on my bed, cuddling with me. She's not the most cuddly little kitty, I'll be real. Yeah, she wants attention, but she doesn't like it when I hold her, so I just kind of have to let her sit around. Yeah, so the closest we get to cuddling is her just kind of sitting on top of me, so you know, it's still very cute, but yeah. There's just been a lot of times when I just wanted to like pick her up like a little baby and rock her around. But yeah, she hates it. She does not like that. You know, I remember seeing like a YouTube short like that someone made, like to see if your cat like trusts you or not. And it's like if your cat lets you touch them this way, then it means they'll trust you. If you let, like, there's like 3 steps, and like the last step is like picking the cat under the armpits and like swaying it around. Like if it's chill, because like the cat in the video is chill, but like I knew for a fact that my cat would kill me if I did that. Like, there's no way she's doing that. You know, she's okay with me letting her touch her paws or face, but yeah, it's if I pick her up like that, she ain't gonna be happy, so. Honestly, probably shouldn't really hold your cat like that, to be honest. I don't know, it doesn't seem like a very comfortable way. Also, Candy's a bit on the heavier side, so probably like multiple reasons why I shouldn't do that. But yeah. You know what? She still let me do the 2 other steps, so just try not to get too aggressive with her, and she's usually fine with me. You know, as hard as it is to just be like desperately wanting to smush her and give her many, many little kisses. Yeah, she's not gonna. I don't want to get my butt kicked by a cat. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so I'm gonna work on the edges, or some of the edges here, and so a little moving away from the cat topic, some of the ways I try to play with the lighting of this character is that I had some very saturated cyan, and I had some pretty saturated, basically this kind of a highlighter color. Maybe not quite, actually maybe close to that. This is probably a little more yellow than usual, but actually I think it would be lighter. Okay, it's just... Okay, this one's a little too yellow. Normally these are actually on an add glow layer, but I thought I'd go ahead and mess with the cyan early, so... Yeah, usually this highlighter color, that's usually added as an effect later on, so... I definitely stick more towards the bluer colors, usually. But the yellow does make things pop, I'll be real. I usually like to say this whenever I talk about color theory, but yellow is considered, I think yellow is like considered the most eye-catching color. Like, not necessarily by me, but, or like I'm not coming up with this out of nowhere, but it's sort of part of color theory. So like yellows, they're basically the yellow is the color that stands out the most. So yeah, I think the person who came up with this idea was actually Cezanne. So he's like a impressionist painter, or either impressionist or post-impressionist, but you know, he's someone that worked with light, or was a part of those kind of movements, I mean to say. Sorry, I'm not super knowledgeable about Cezanne specifically, but I know that Impressionism was one of my favorite movements. I still really like Impressionist pieces, I just don't really think about Impressionism as much as I used to. But yeah, Impressionism kind of worked with the science of color quite a bit. I think Post-Impressionism kind of worked with that too, but not quite as much. Actually, how I learned about sort of the Post-Impressionist movement. Sorry, hold on, let me drink water. Okay. So the idea that I learned for Impressionist and Post-Impressionist, or like not, sorry, I'm flubbing this, I'm sorry. So I'm Post-Impressionism, that kind of leaned more towards expressiveness and like being more chaotic with your brush strokes. So Van Gogh, if you know about Van Gogh, that he is a Post-Impressionist. And you also hear about Neo-Impressionism, which is a lot of the time people will kind of like combine those two movements, but Neo-Impressionism is more about like the science or scientific aspect, especially with like brush strokes. So basically, if you know about pointillism, that's a Neo-Impressionism. But yeah, I don't know if thinking about like color theory, that if that's like a necessarily which movement that comes from, but yeah. Okay. Sorry. It does feel like this, the blue stuff is making the hair come along, or starting to look the way that I normally like it. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm going to add a little bit more to some of the other areas. Admittedly, I feel like this piece could use some more flyaways, but like for hair, I mean like cool flyaways. So it's a hair that's, you know, flying away, but I don't want to work on that until later on. So I'm just gonna try, hopefully I remember that later. But yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna make this area a little bit thicker. All right, all right. Okay. I realize I haven't really added that much detail to this area. Of course, it's not really an area of focus, so it probably shouldn't have too much detail, but still. Just gonna add some basic shapes for the bright green areas. And I probably should, yeah, I think I'll, hold on, blend it out a bit so it doesn't stand out too much. But yes, so outside of color theory, another way to make things kind of stick forward or push things back is just the levels of detail. So having this be like less detailed will make it stand out less than the hair, which is around the focal point. And fun fact, you can actually do that in reverse, I think. So basically have a simpler focal point as compared to a very complicated scene. So like Yoshitaka Amano, he's an artist that I like to bring up a lot. His art pieces tend to be very, very complicated, but he draws the figures or the people in his art tends to draw them like a lot more simplified, so he actually does that kind of, so you can argue that he does that thing kind of in a little bit of a reverse to the other general rule. Sorry. One day I'll be good at talking one day. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. So I'm just kind of plotting all this out. So yeah. Anyways, I am just kind of mixing this in. Yeah, I wanted a little more volume to the bangs here, so I just made it a little rounder here, but should probably add more detail later on too. It's easy to kind of get lost in the detail of hair. I actually need to work more on the face now that I think about it. Mostly just kind of darkening. So right now it looks kind of flat on this lower area. I realize that I need to make the area that's under the cheekbone a little bit darker, so. Not too dark, so it doesn't seem too dramatic, but okay. Sorry, it's pushed too much color around right there. Okay. You know, I was kind of just thinking now that back in the day, I think I used to make the cheekbones a lot more dramatic. But nowadays, I think I kind of lean towards faces being a little bit softer. But yeah, the lining could get... Okay. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have it be a little bit stronger for the dead guy, but I do try to make my character kind of a little bit softer looking. Yeah. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have blended that core shadow in there. Maybe it's okay if I keep it for now. Also, I should flip the canvas back. I don't know how long that's been flipped. Okay, I would like to work out some of the facial details a little bit more, so at least for the rest of the stream. So okay, make it a little more purple actually. Yeah, I usually want the lips to be, or the line art around the lips to be a bit warmer. Okay. All right. Okay. Also, let's blend some more blue into the bottom area of the nose right here. To kind of lighten it up a little bit, I guess. And actually making the tip of the nose a little bit darker because to make the highlights stand out a bit more. Okay. Of course, I also need to bring out the nostrils a bit, so. When I was sketching them, I kind of just gave up on the nostrils because they weren't really turning out all that well. But yeah, now's about the time to kind of bring them back. Alright, now I'm gonna get a very light color. Just kind of put that on the tip right here. Sort of a early highlight, I guess. Okay. And maybe add a little bit of early highlights to the bow right here. And hold on. I'm gonna add this very bright cyan to the lips real quick, and then put the highlight on top of that. Okay. Honestly, it's not looking too bad right now. Like, it definitely still needs a lot of work, but yeah, I feel like it needs more character too, so maybe add the fish and then I can start working on textures and more details. Of course, that's still a little ways away, but yeah. I do think more characters is what's really needed, though. Okay. Sorry, it's trying to mess with the layer mode a little bit. Sorry, like trying to make decisions. Okay. Yeah, whenever I start zooming in and out like crazy, that's when I'm getting indecisive. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna add some ambient occlusion around some of these areas. Maybe not necessarily just occlusion, but maybe just to bring out a little more detail on the face, I guess. Make it look a little rounder, I guess. Or like 3D, I should say, not necessarily rounder. Okay. Sorry, I'm like being quiet. Just kind of focusing. Also, the Dravonian Forlands theme is on right now, so I know I was like talking about Final Fantasy XIV earlier. This is a soundtrack from the game, so, or one of the pieces from the soundtrack. I think it's like the best part of that one zone of the art of the Dravonian Forlands. I might have tried talking about it in a previous stream, but the specific zone that this song comes from is unfortunately very like gray and brown, which I never really. So it's not the prettiest zone, but there is like a quest series that you don't necessarily have to take, but you do if you want rewards for something. But yeah, I kind of ended up, so I had to like spend a ton of time there. But yeah, this song definitely carried things, I'll be honest. Or carried the zone. And yeah, I'm still listening to it, like, on its own, obviously. Kind of emotional, isn't it? Okay. Alright, alright. Sorry, just adding more shading. Maybe clean up this little spot right here. It's alright. So I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger on the screen. Okay. Yeah, just trying to, I guess I'll scooch it up so because you guys don't have the screen's a bit different on the OBS, but yeah, I'm just trying to see if the focal point is standing out. I guess I could technically, yeah, it definitely needs more work over time, but yeah, sometimes you just need to accept that you need to work on other stuff first. Usually you don't want to get too invested in one specific spot. Like, you want to develop the other areas before like finishing it, I should say. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I realize there's probably lighten the area right next to the nostrils, kind of bring it out. Okay. Oh, I need to stretch. Okay, I think that zinger helped. My little snack that I had earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm dying. Or doesn't quite feel like I'm dying. And the brooch here looks kind of rough, doesn't it? Forgot to even shade it, dang. Okay. Oh, we can fix that. Okay, after I make it darker. Okay. So I'm just gonna bring out certain details a bit more. This is something that's gonna have to be dealt with later on, though, I believe. But yeah, I'll be working on this piece again next Friday, so I don't think this should technically take too long. You know, hopefully not, but kind of like the Doulahan piece that I did previously. But yeah, so I think this will be the last painting for October. If I get it done earlier than 3 streams, though, I'll probably just do a gaming stream on Tuesday, so try something a little bit different. But yeah, once I get that model done, I'll probably be focusing on something that's requires a little more effort, or probably a little more detailed painting, kind of like what I was doing with back in September and late August. But yeah, so something with more of a background, I should say, either a background or multiple figures. But yeah, I've been kind of keeping it a little bit simple because of the Blender stuff. Because I feel like I'd be further ahead with the Blender stuff if I didn't spend so much time on that one Autumn Dance piece. Because yeah, that piece definitely like stole a ton of time, just like because I had to like draw out all the leaves and stuff, and that's yeah, that drove me crazy. So, but yeah, that will be in November though. So, and I thought I'd say that because we're at the 3-hour mark, or at least almost there. So. And I'm just gonna keep it short. And as I said before, I want to keep it short today just so I can not wear myself out so much. But yeah, thank you everyone who came today, and I hope the rest of your days goes well. I'm gonna look for someone to raid today. Oh, hey, Nakuza's doing art. How about I check him out? He's another VTuber. He has a harpy character, but yeah. I don't think I've ever seen them do an art stream before, so. I usually try to stay, when I raid people, I try to stick within the, I'll aim for like art streamers, or if I'm doing art, or gaming streamers if I'm doing gaming, so. That's why I don't usually hop over. But yeah, today's a good day to hop over, I guess. So, how about we just go ahead and raid them? But yeah, so thank you everyone for coming in and hanging out with me today. I know it's got kind of lower energy at the end, but that's how it is sometimes. But yeah, hope the rest of your nights goes well, and just a reminder, I will be streaming again next Friday. Hopefully nothing comes up again like I did last week, but yeah. And I hope you'll, so alright, see you all later. I'm gonna hold on, try to be better about using the ending screen. But yeah, let's raid.